In this tutorial, I'll be talking about variables and constants. In PHP and other programming languages, we deal a lot with data. Each data requires a container which holds it in the code execution. Some data changes during code execution while others remain constant. This variation in data states determines the type of container which is required to hold data. Basically, there are two types of containers. We have variables and constants. Variables are meant to hold data that changes, while constant is meant for fixed data. In PHP, to represent a variable, we write a $sign plus the name of the variable. For example, a variable to hold the names of students in a class can be written as $name. If a name of a student is something like Adewale, then we can assign this value Adewale to the container. In that case, what we have to do is to put an equals to sign. So we are assigning Adewale into the container $name. Later in the future, this can change since you know this is a variable. Later we can have $name to be something like Amaka. So it means this is the data we are assigning to the container. For constant, it is fixed. Once it is defined, you cannot change the value again. And in PHP, it is written as define. This is the container name, and this is the value, the data that is being attached to the container. For example, if you want to store the resumption date in a school, something like date, so this will be the value, the data being assigned to this container. So maybe you have something like 4/8/2019. In that case, this is the data and this is the container. We are assigning the data into this container. Later in the future, this cannot be changed because this is a constant. Now let us visualize variables and constants using boxes. Here we have two boxes. We have an open box and we have a closed box. The open box represents variables and this represents constants. For the open box, we can easily put a value here, maybe a data of value 4, and later in the future, you can remove this value and assign another value 5 because this container is open. This container is a variable. In the case of a constant, once a value has been attached to it, maybe like 10, there is no way you can remove this value and there is no way you can append any other value to it again. So now that we know the difference between variables and constants, let us play around with both of them in our IDE. So let's go to the Sublime Text. So now we can represent variables. Let us remove the first statement. We can represent our variable $name to hold a value. Let's call it Adewale. And to see this value, let us use the echo statement we used in the previous class. So we want to print out Adewale. It is, we are printing out anything that we have in our container, which is a variable. So we can echo $name. At this point, our $name is holding a value, Adewale. So on our screen, we should see Adewale being printed. So let's check. So we have to refresh. And we can see Adewale because we are printing the data in our variable. Let us change the data. So later on, maybe we have $name is now holding another value. Let's say Amaka this time around. So let's check it. Oh. We just need to refresh our browser. So you can see that our variable is now holding Amaka. Because Amaka was defined after Adewale, the last value that is being defined is what the container will hold. If you define another value, so if you have something like Aishat, so let's check our browser. So you can see that it's holding Aisha. But for constant, you cannot change the value. So now let us define a constant. A constant is defined as, define. So let's assume we have resumption date to be our constant. You know, constants are written in capital letter. We have resumption date. So this is a container. Let's assign the value. Probably we have something like this, 05/2019. So this is the resumption date. And this, since this is a line, we have semicolon. So let us print what we have in our container, that is resumption date. So we have echo. Now constant is this resumption date. So let's check this in the browser. Before that, let us comment this. So when you comment a code, this code will not be executed. And you can see that it has different color in the IDE. So let us save it. And when we reload, we have, this is the resumption date, which is a constant. So now let us try to append another value to the constant and let's see what will happen. So let's have define for the same constant. You can copy so that we don't have any spelling error. So let us append another date and let's see what will happen. So we have 14. We have 14/06/2019. So let's save and print the resumption date in the browser. You can see that we still have the same value here because for constant, once you define them, you cannot change the value. So this is the difference between a variable and a constant.